Appreciate you guys. I'm great, man. Appreciate you guys being here. Just want to first start by sending our prayers and well wishes to a member of our family, Chuck Landon. I know he's going through some medical things right now. So, Chuck, we got our prayers out to you. Hope you're speedy recovery. Hope to get you back really soon. Also, obviously, homecoming coming up this week. An opportunity for our family to get back together, an opportunity for alumni, fans, family, all to come back and spend some time together and watch the herd play. But I do want to kind of mention to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to head to the Hal Greer ceremony that's going on at 10 a.m. on Saturday. I think that's a great start to the entire day on Saturday. The great legend, I'll say that played here is being recognized with a statue. So before you head to Thunder Street, head on over and take advantage of the opportunity to recognize a legend, his family, and all he's done for this university. So I really appreciate that. And then the other thing, I know this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I know in the past a lot of schools around the country you symbolize breast cancer awareness with pink socks or pink jerseys or pink stickers. I don't believe in that. Hear me out. I think breast cancer has enough awareness. I think when you start wearing pink socks and pink stickers, I think you are being an individual. And where does it stop? Who's got on pink socks? Who's got pink shoestrings? I believe in the uniform being a uniform and not a costume. I believe in our players all looking the same. We believe in individualism, but not when it affects the team. So I had a meeting with the leadership committee. My belief is that breast cancer does not need any more awareness. What it needs is resources and or volunteering. So what we're going to do as a program, we are going to, all of our players get per diem for games, for part of the NCAA rules. So what our players are going to do is they're going to donate $1 of their per diem for every weekend of this month. What I'm going to do as a coach, I'm going to match and double whatever they come up with, and then we're going to donate that to the local breast cancer society research here in our great state of West Virginia, because I think that is more important, more impactful than running out with pink socks on. So I believe in being a servant leader. I believe in action, and I believe in helping. So that's what we're going to do. So I don't know what the number will be. So let's just say they come up with $100, just numbers for example. I will put $200 to that. We will donate $300 to the local West Virginia Breast Cancer Association for research and resources to try and do something that will generate something that actually helps, not, hey, we had a pink wristband. Just my belief, not a knock against anybody who does that. I have members in my family that have been affected by the disease, so I'm fully aware of it. And I know that what they need is resources and volunteering. I think we all have the awareness. So I know that's been done here in the past. That's not a knock to what's been done here in the past, but I just want to let you guys know you won't see any pink on the field for the Thundering Herd, but we are doing something. So now, last game, we had a chance to talk after the game. Obviously, you all could see it. Ray Charles could see the issue that happened Saturday night. We've got to find a way to eliminate the turnovers. It's been something that's been happening since the first game of the year. We've gotten away with it in multiple games, and now it's catching up to us. And I think sometimes it takes a failure to learn. You talk about, in the first game, not turn it over. And in young running backs' mind, not necessarily our guys, but, I didn't fumble, I got it back. And you kind of not really think about it. And then as the year goes on, you don't get them back. I don't know if it was, like the vortex, but every ball that came out Saturday night just seemed to, repel away from all of our guys. I mean, not even close to like, did we get it? Did we get it? No, no, we don't. We don't even have a guy in the area. So I think what we're going through now. Hopefully, our guys had a chance to see it. I talked to the team and I told them we had 6 turnovers and a block punt, and we were still less than a half a yard away from having an opportunity to go win the game. How great can we be if we stop beating ourselves? I told them when I went in the locker room, I said, do not hang your head. And I believe you hang your head when you play your best and the other team beats you. You know, it's kind of, man, you don't hang your head when you beat yourself. You got to look in the mirror and say, how can I get better? And that was one of the things we talked about. Obviously, I thought our defense played well enough for us to win the game, especially in the second half. We kept turning it over. They'd come out and get a stop. We turn it over. They'd come out and get a stop. The one we turned over that they didn't have a chance to put their hand down was probably, the one that kind of put us a little too far out of reach. But I think our defense is starting to play the style of defense that, we all expected. It takes time. I'm not by any means making excuses for it, but it takes time, and I think we're starting to play the type of defense that, we expect our guys to play. So a great learning opportunity. Got another tremendous challenge coming up this weekend. Obviously, homecoming. Expect the Joan to be, full of fans, really getting the opportunity to come back. ODU, a really good football team. I don't – you can look at records, but if you look at our record, what do people say? I think you got to look at the film, and I think when you watch their games, they're in a very similar scenario as us. They're in a lot of games. There's a turnover or a penalty or a drop or whatever it is that kind of separates them. So we got to be prepared, and I told the guys it's really about us this week. It's about us fixing the things we need to fix, improving the things we need to prove on all week so that we can go out and execute on Saturday. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Hey, Coach Stephen, with just looking at Old Dominion, they seem to like going to the tight end a lot in their offense this game.
Yeah, I think they do a really good job of maximizing the tight end. They play a lot of 12 personnel, mainly 11, but they play a lot of 12 personnel, get 2 tight ends on the field. It's a matchup, type of deal for them. 9 times out of 10, the tight end's usually matched up on, where he's going to have a little bit of a size advantage. They've got 2 guys with great size. The Zach Kuntz tight end, he was at Penn State when I was there. We recruited him, and I left, and then he came in. So know a lot about him. And then their other tight end is probably a little more athletic vertically. But Zach is 6'8", 6'9", really good catch radius, does a really good job running his routes. So I think they do a really good job of matching up to create advantages for them. So we got to be able to defend those tight ends in the pass game and in the run game.
Coach, you mentioned, you recruited a couple of those Penn State guys that they've got. How special of a day is this for you and Ricky to sort of, I know that it's a business game, but thinking in the broader spectrum, both of y'all were at Penn State, both of y'all know each other pretty well. It's got to be pretty special for y'all to get a chance to go head-to-head as head coaches.
Yeah, Ricky Ronnie is probably, one of my best friends, not only in coaching but in life. We spend a lot of time together. We're similar. I don't have to call him every day or text him every week to say, hey, buddy, how you doing? We can talk once a week. We could talk for 30 seconds and say what we need to say and move on. I've learned a lot from Ricky throughout the years. Hopefully he's learned something from me. But it's going to be about 2 minutes of, hey, how you doing? Hope all is well. And as much as I'm a fierce competitor, he's probably the exact same. So there's probably going to be some colorful language being thrown towards each other through the headsets during the game. But after the game, we're going to shake hands and move on. I think the one thing that, I'll know for sure about, Coach Ronnie and his team, they're going to be prepared. They're going to be prepared. He does a really good job, obviously, of trying to maximize his talent. There's a lot of guys on that staff from Penn State that I'll have, relationships with. But ultimately, and Coach Ronnie would probably say the same thing, it's really not about me and him. I'm not going to make any tackles. He's not going to throw any balls. It's going to come down to our guys executing. And I say it all the time. You got to be careful when you look at a record and say, well, this team is X, Y, and Z. You don't know what's going on in their locker room. You don't know what they're battling. You don't know Is it, health issues, COVID issues, injuries, character, morale? This guy, got hurt. You don't know, so you can't really say, oh, they're 1-3. This should be a win. Well, yeah, they all should be wins. I get it. I want to win them all. But you got to prepare every week because you don't know, So it'll be a great opportunity. I know Coach Ryan and his staff will be prepared. The 30 seconds, probably about a minute. The minute before the game, we'll shake hands and laugh. It's going to get real ugly for about 2.5 hours between both of us, and then after the game, we'll shake hands and go our separate ways.
Do you feel like this is an ODU team that's starting to find itself, though? I know that they've dug some pretty deep deficits the last 2 games, but they've also been in position to win both of those games after the immense deficits that they built.
Yeah, I think as any season goes on, every team learns a little bit more about themselves, a little bit more about who they are. Guys get experience. You think about it. Take Rasheen Ali for us. How much better has he gotten from Navy till now? Does he still have a lot to improve on? Yeah, and I'm just using him as example. So even though they've had players, younger players with more or less experience, the more experience you get, the more you kind of get in a rhythm, you kind of get in a groove, who's able to do what, who you can count on. And I think as you watch them, they've been very similar to us. It's one play here, one play there. They've battled back in the second half of a few games and made it really close. So I expect it to be a challenging game, for us on both sides of the ball and special teams.
Hey, Coach, when you look at the turnover issues, and obviously they were going after the ball, and the conditions weren't good, how do you keep that from being a physical turnover and making sure it's not a mental turnover in the days that follow? How does that work during practice?
Yeah, I think you got to, 2 things you can do when adversity strikes. You can either react or respond. Reacting would be saying, hey, anybody who fumbles the ball, you're never going to play here again, and you might as well go sit on the bench and do nothing. Responding will be, okay, this is not acceptable, okay? I'm going to help you fix the problem. I'm going to give you the keys. We'll keep the ball vertical. We'll do some extra drills. Our guys have done some extra, they know, okay? So, but responding says, hey, I'm going to help you fix the problem. I'm going to give you the keys to fix the problem. But no different than if you have a 2-year-old who falls off a bike. If you don't put them back on the bike, they'll never trust riding a bike again. Now, I do think as they get older, it changes a little bit. Seniors, older guys that kind of know this process, know taking care of the ball, and not necessarily because they've been here 4 years, but seniors that have been in our program and understand our philosophy and the importance on turnovers and penalties and those types of things. So, yeah, we've done some reinforcement, but we're going to choose to respond to adversity instead of react. Obviously, in the moment, you got to make some adjustments. But I think the first thing you got to do is say, okay, this is not acceptable. Here's how we're going to help you improve. Here's how we're going to help you do better. And then you got to put them back on the bike and give them an opportunity to get over it mentally, kind of like you said.
Coach, the last couple weeks, particularly down around the end zone, a lot of pass interference on that back end with the secondary. What's the message to the guys about how you go cleaning that up?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I don't know if this is the NFL or college. I interpreted rules a little bit different. Not saying that we're all perfect, but again, you got to respond. So we've got to work drills to kind of get guys and be in better position. We got to evaluate what is being called consistently as pass interference and what's not. And then again, same thing goes. You got to respond. Teach them what they are able to do, and then you got to make a decision who can do it, who's going to give us the best chance to be successful. We've done some extra drills. We've adjusted some of our techniques. If you ask any DB coach in the country, and I know there's a lot of them out there who have, who don't really coach on Saturday, but, are able to coach on Saturday, if you know what I mean. If you ask any DB coach in the country, if you're playing man coverage, you are running with the guy and your eyes are on his hips, and when his hands and eyes go up, you play through his hands. That's what most base man coverage would say. But what's happening is our guys are being caught in a situation where there's balls being thrown short, there's back shoulder balls, so now you got to take the next step, and you got to play through the hands and find the ball. Well, the higher you go with techniques, now all of a sudden you get in a situation where I think you guys may have saw Lee Anthony on Saturday night, where you're a step behind, then the guy throws the ball out over front of you, now the guy's going for a true go ball, not a back shoulder ball. So you got to be able to put yourself in the right technique. It starts at the line of scrimmage with your footwork. Obviously, we got to manage who we allow to be in man coverage. But again, you want to stop the run, you can get another guy in the box if you're in man coverage. You don't, and there are some other ways to do it. So I just think it's a combination of us continuing to evaluate one or two things: two, who we're playing; two, what they can do consistently; and then giving them some more tools to use with the understanding that if they use these other tools, there are some other things that could happen.
Coach, you also alluded to special teams for ODU being a big factor. They lead the nation in block kicks, and I think they've got 3 in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, it's going to be something that you all are locking in on, and you all are among the tops in the nation as well in that category.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are real, man. I mean, they are real. I mean, they're not blocking kicks by like, oh, I blocked the kick. They're like, if you punt it, we're going to block it. So obviously we got to do a good job. Obviously, last week we had a issue with a block punt. Was a non-block by one of our players. Guy was lined up in a position in the gray, and I thought the guy behind him didn't think. Totally a person, not a personnel error, as in could not do it, but did not do what he was supposed to. So I'm sure they're looking at that on film. We got to get that cleaned up, obviously. But they are creating opportunities for themselves through special teams. I think if you look back, there's been some opportunity that we've created for ourselves through special teams. You go all the way back to game one. You block 2 kicks in a game, you got a chance to be real successful. The kickoff return at App State, that really changes the swing of momentum, really gives us an opportunity. So we've had some opportunities to benefit from really good special teams. We've also had some opportunities to learn from mistakes in the kicking game, big and small. I think, you probably don't look at it, but, Andrew Sanders, who's doing a great job kicking off for us, mishit a ball. It's a line drive. The guy catches it. We haven't even run 10 yards yet. Those are big plays in special teams that don't necessarily go, to the touchdown category or to the block kick category, but they definitely change the game. So those things we've learned that it can go either way in special teams, and we got to make sure we're sound this week. We got to make sure we communicate this week so all 11 guys are on the same page with who's blocking who has who, and then we got to allow ourselves to be on the positive end of discipline and executing on special teams and not the other side. Welcome, Josh.
Knowledge was a guy that. Anyhow, with the running backs, one of the things you mentioned after the game was, if someone's fumbling, you got to get the ball to somebody who can hang on to it. And obviously, you tried all 3 guys, and they all had their miscues. But Knowledge was a guy. It seemed like the couple runs he got before that fumble, he was looking pretty good. Just what have you seen out of him in the limited time he's been on the field, and I guess in practice so far?
Yeah, I think Knowledge has done a good job with the opportunities he's had in the game. He's got to continue to practice really hard so that we can see what we're expecting in the game. It's a little bit of a misnomer. This is not a knock on Knowledge. He's done a phenomenal job when he's gotten into games. But when you practice, you're not just evaluating, does Barry Sanders get the ball and make 7 guys miss? You're evaluating, does he pick up the right guy in pass pro? You're evaluating, is he in the right area on the runs? Is he running with the right pad level? Does he give us a chance to, make a guy miss? Does he give us a chance in the pass game? Those are all the things you're evaluating. And the tough part, you take a guy like Knowledge, Ethan Payne, those guys who have a lot of ability. Well, the game plan changes every week. It's not just, hey, go in and run the same run you had, 3 weeks ago. Hey, it's the same run, but the look is different, so it may hit different. It's the same protection, but their blitz is different, so it may hit different. So all of those things get involved. I really do think as Knowledge continues to work, he's going to continue to get more and more opportunities, which from a coach's perspective, it's our job to put the young men in the game when we think they're going to have the most success. Not just, okay, you're next in line, go. You're next in line, go. I don't think that's fair to young men. but putting them in the game when they can have success so they can build confidence. So now the more they get in, the better they play. You put any young man in the game and he's not prepared, he doesn't have success, now all of a sudden his confidence is shook. His teammates are kind of like, well, why is he in here? All of those things matter. So from a knowledge McDaniel's perspective, I think he's doing a really good job of managing the opportunities he's gotten. He's getting better in practice to continue to build trust between his teammates, his coaches, and how he practices. And now he's going to continue to get those opportunities. And then from there, it's about executing. All good? All right. Well, I appreciate you. Yeah.
I think so. Thank you, Coach.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you guys. I know you guys, I appreciate you guys doing what you do for our program. Our players really appreciate it. This weekend's going to be a great weekend. Homecoming again, an opportunity for everyone to get back. Obviously, I get it. We're doing the best we can. There's no one that's more frustrated with the close wins and the fumbles than me. But I can tell you that players in this building are working their tails off. I'm proud of the way the men continue to come in every day with the right attitude, the right mindset. Now we just got to be able to get over the hump and take some of these setbacks and make them step forward. So appreciate you guys. Look forward to seeing you guys this weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.